Elizabeth Cady Stanton was the leader and primary speaker of the movement for women's equality in the United States during the 19th century. She worked closely with Susan B. Anthony, and together they joined forces in the struggle to gain voting rights, property rights, and equal guardianship rights. In 1892, at the age of 76 years, Stanton delivered this speech to the U.S. Congressional Judiciary Committee. On November 2, 1920, more than 8 million women voted for the first time in U.S. history. From The Solitude of Self by Elizabeth Cady Stanton. The point I wish plainly to bring before you on this occasion is the individuality of each human soul. Our Protestant idea, the right of individual conscience and judgment, our Republican idea, individual citizenship. In discussing the rights of women, we are to consider first what belongs to her as an individual in a world of her own, the arbiter of her own destiny, an imaginary Robinson Crusoe with her woman Friday on a solitary island. Her right under such circumstances are to use all her faculties for her own safety and happiness. Secondly, if we consider her as a citizen, as a member of a great nation, she must have the same rights as all the other members, according to the fundamental principles of our government. Thirdly, viewed as a woman, an equal factor in civilization, her rights and duties are still the same: individual happiness and development. Fourthly, it is only the incidental relations of life, such as mother, wife, sister, daughter, that may involve some special duties. Special duties and training. In the usual discussion in regard to woman's sphere, such as a man as Herbert Spencer, Frederick Harrison, and Grant Allen uniformly subordinate her rights and duties as an individual, as a citizen, as a woman to the necessities of these incidental relations, some of which a large class of women may never assume. In discussing the sphere of man, we do not decide his rights as an individual, as a citizen, as a man, by his duties as a father, a husband, a brother, or a son, relations some of which he may never fill. Moreover, he would be better fitted for these very relations and whatever special work he might choose to do to earn his bread by the complete development of all his faculties as an individual. Just so with woman. The education that will fit her to discharge the duties in the largest sphere of human usefulness will best fit her for whatever special work she may be compelled to do. The isolation of every human soul and the necessity of self-dependence must give each individual the right to choose his own surroundings. The strongest reason for giving women all the opportunities for higher education, for the full development of her faculties, force of mind and body, for giving her the most enlarged freedom of thought and action, a complete emancipation from all forms of bondage, of custom, dependence, superstitious, from all the crippling influences of fear, is in solitude and personal responsibility for her own individual life. The strongest reason why we ask for a woman a voice in the government under which she lives. In the religion she is asked to believe, equality in social life, where she is the chief factor, a place in the trades and professions, where she may earn her bread, is because of her birthright right to self-sovereignty, because as an individual she must rely on herself. No matter how much women prefer to lean to be protected and supported, nor how much men desire to have them do so, they must make the voyage of life alone. And for safety in an emergency, they must know something of the laws of navigation. To guide our own craft, we must be captain, pilot, engineer, with chart and compass, to stand at the wheel, to match the wind and waves and know when to take in the sail, and to read the signs in the firmament over all. It matters not whether the solitary voyager is man or woman. Nature, having endowed them equally, leaves them to their own skill and judgment in the hour of danger, and, if not equal to the occasion, alike they perish. To appreciate the importance of fitting every human soul for independent action, think for a moment of the immeasurable solitude of self. We come into the world alone. Unlike all who have gone before us, we leave it alone, under the circumstances peculiar to ourselves. No mortal has ever been, no mortal ever will be like the soul just launched on the sea of life. To throw obstacles in the way of a complete education is like putting out the eyes. To deny the rights of property, like cutting off hands. To deny political equality is to rob the ostracized of all self-respect, of credit in the marketplace, of recompense in the world of work, of a voice among those who make and administer the law, a choice in the jury before whom they are tried, and in the judge who decides their punishment. Shakespeare's play of Titus and Andronicus contains a terrible satire on a woman's position in the 19th century. Rude men, the play tells us, seized the king's daughter, cut out her tongue, out off her hands, and then bade her go call for water and wash her hands. What a picture of a woman's position! Robbed of her natural rights, handicapped by law and custom at every turn, yet compelled to fight her own battles, and in the emergencies of life to fall back on herself for protection. Question 1. The main purpose of this speech is to A. Persuade senators that women are responsible and intelligent. B. Demand that Congress grant women full privileges as citizens. C. Ask for aid for women who cannot take care of themselves. D. Prepare women to begin their role as political participants. Number 2. Staunton's speech is organized by F. Describing examples of how women are truly responsible individuals. G. Presenting points and using supporting evidence. H. Listing counter-arguments and arguing how invalid they are. J. Providing an historical overview of women's rights over the ages. Number 3. Which rhetorical device does Staunton use in paragraph 4? A. Rhetorical question. B. Repetition. C. Parallel structure. D. Refrain. Number 4. Which of the following statements does Staunton consider the most important reason in giving women a voice in government? F. Women should have the rights of all citizens. G. Women have the right to happiness. H. Women must rely on themselves. J. Women are more than just wives, mothers, and daughters. When Staunton writes, quote, "To guide our own craft, we must be captain, pilot, engineer, with chart and compass to stand at the wheel," she is using A. Restatement to emphasize the idea that women must be self-sufficient. B. An anecdote to prove a point. C. A simile to compare men and women. D. A metaphor to describe independence. 6. Which of the following allusions does Staunton use in her speech to support the idea that women have had a long history of overcoming great odds? F. The story of Robinson Crusoe. G. A female ship captain. H. A book by Herbert Spencer. J. The play Titus and Andronicus. 7. Which of the following statement uses dramatic imagery as an emotional appeal? A. To throw rocks in the way of complete education is like putting out the eyes. To deny the rights of property like cutting off the hands. B. We come into the world alone, unlike all who have gone before us. We leave it alone, under circumstances peculiar to ourselves. C. To appreciate the importance of fitting every human soul for independent action, think for a moment of the immeasurable solitude of self. D. It is only the incidental relations of life, such as mother, wife, sister, daughter, that may involve some special duties and training.